This is Damaris. She runs a trading education company, and with just 5,000 subscribers on her channel, she hit 180,000 in cash collected last month for her business, with a large majority of that revenue coming from her YouTube channel. So in this video, she'll be talking about how she did it, revealing the key changes she made to start making serious money from YouTube, and how one video she made last month brought in almost $90,000 in new cash.
In the first month of launch with my closer, we made $180,000 profit.
Crazy. Sounds like there's some drilling going on in the back. Is
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Okay, no worries. Hopefully it's not too bad on the audio. But yeah, I think everyone heard that. That's 19K to 180K. That's crazy growth. And you
And
had
just
already, I think, doubled, right? Like the month before we'd spoken in August, you were already at 45K, something like that.
Yeah, and in August I made around 45K, and that was by myself without adding a closer. I had hired a new video editor, I hired a DM setter, and I was closing by myself. And then all of a sudden, I had a breakout video when I followed your strategy on creating an evergreen YouTube video. And in the first day, it got 1,000 views. By the end of the first week, I had 20,000 views. Now, 1 month later, after I posted that video, it has over 70,000 views. I got over 200 applications and my calendar was packed. So I decided to hire a closer. And in the first month that my closer worked for me, he made over $18,000.
So cool, so cool, and you're gonna now impact a bunch of people who join. I remember watching the video that you said did well, because you'd sent it. I was on a team meeting with my closers actually, and you sent it through, and I was like, oh, look at this, like the Maris's video is like popping off, it's doing well. And I remember watching, I was like, okay, she's gonna make a lot of money from this video. Like it was so well done, and it was just like hit every single point. It reminded me of like the original video we created, like how I created that structure with ZTH that now has like 1 million views. It's like when you get that right, it's a great video because people want to watch it, but also it just converts people. You know, it's like people watching, they feel inspired. They're like, I want to get into trading. I want to start. Like it's very, very well done. Great video. Um, with that being said, though, in the beginning, I guess talk a little bit about like what were the challenges? Like why were we at 19K back then? What do you feel like was kind of the main challenges when we first started speaking back in like March, April?
Back then, my content wasn't the best. So from April, May, and June, I was really focused on just fixing the content. I followed a lot of the content strategies that you mentioned. Also, I didn't have a setter. My video editors are just from India. It was very low quality. So I did a lot of work in the back end and I had to hire a lot of people to help me. That was the
Yeah.
main thing. Hiring multiple video editors, hiring a closer, hiring two setters, and mainly my video editor for YouTube really helped me pop up.
Gotcha. Yeah. Did you did you start with short form or more of the long form, or was it both?
Or my main thing before was Instagram. I had 70,000 followers on Instagram and we just had a DM funnel. I changed a lot of things in my website in that funnel. And also when we implemented the YouTube funnel, it was just easier for the leads to get access to me and the program. So I got a lot more applications.
Yeah. YouTube is so like Instagram is great. You get traffic and it brings in a good amount of eyeballs. But the way YouTube like is for conversion, like you have way less subscribers than followers, but I'm sure you probably make a lot more money from the YouTube than the Instagram. It's crazy how that works, right?
Yeah, I started with 800 subscribers and now I have over 6,000.
That's awesome. 6,000, and do you track directly how much revenue comes from do you know like how many applications or at least like revenue that came from YouTube directly? That I guess
Yeah,
would be cool to see.
yes, I do. So directly from YouTube, which this, let's see, let's get a check.
And I asked that because like the average YouTuber who has 6,000 subscribers maybe makes like $300 a month, and then people think like, oh, that's what you make like from AdSense and all that. But with
Um,
just 6,000 subscribers, the amount of money that I'm assuming you're gonna tell now is like a different ballpark, you know?
I did make $300 from AdSense.
Okay, that's life changing for you. No, I'm joking. That's it's extra money for the editors, I guess, right?
No, that I'm keeping that money. My editor
Uh,
gets a commission, so we set up a commission-based structure. And
yeah,
In the past 40 days from YouTube, we had $90,000 revenue.
Crazy, crazy. Yeah, you'll never get those numbers with AdSense unless you have like 3 million subscribers. It's insane. Very, very cool. From just 6,000 subscribers. Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
growing too, because that video is still like growing, right? That's the beauty of it. It's an evergreen like type video, so it should always consistently be bringing, especially as you make new videos and refer back to it.
exactly. I'm doing that flywheel type strategy.
The flywheel funnel works incredibly well. Yeah, that's what's allowed our one to now have like 1 million views. It's very, very powerful, especially when you make it in like an evergreen way. That's awesome though. I guess besides the evergreen video, did you do other things when it came to long form? Like, what were kind of the major changes when it comes to like YouTube besides hiring editors and doing that? Like, any other changes there on the YouTube side of
Oh,
things?
yeah, yeah. I really focused on quality. Before, all my YouTube videos was either like a Loom video or a Zoom video, but I bought a camera and I bought a microphone and lighting so it could be higher quality. So that was a difference too. Also, I started posting a little bit more about my trades and my own proof, not just about my students as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big one to differentiate because especially with AI, ChatGPT coming up, like the here's how you do it information is cool, but like people can kind of get that so from AI nowadays. When you bring in your story and say like, "Hey, I'm doing this," and they get to know you personally, it really adds that extra layer of like, I want to work with the mayor specifically. Yeah, I want to learn training, but I also want to work with the mayor specifically. But yeah, that's awesome. Short form, are you still going with that, or what were the major changes there? I guess I know most of the impact was on YouTube, but I guess maybe a little bit about the short form side of things.
Well, in the past 40 days, I've done $200,000 in total. So, like the first 4 days in October, I made 40,000. And
Wow.
a big portion of that is still coming from Instagram. I grew my
Yeah.
Instagram from 70,000 followers in April to now it's 90,000. So we have a part-time DM setter and a full-time setter as well. And we've been getting some leads from Instagram as well. I've been posting reels as I was before. I
Yeah.
did implement some of the strategies, like I used to just post talking heads just like this, and
Yeah.
it was low quality. So
Yeah.
I started like changing the angles and those sort
Yeah.
of things, and that worked too. I used
Yeah.
a lot of the specific hooks that you mentioned in the program as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, those are those like short form. I really believe it's all the first 3 seconds. It's like those hooks, and like you said as well, testing different ways, like changing the angles, doing something different, like testing different styles. That's a big thing we did. That's awesome. Talk to me about because I've gone through this transformation as well of like being on calls, closing as the business owner, and then now having a closer. That's like it's a pretty cool transition where you just see like money coming in and you don't have to actually be on the calls anymore, but you're actually making more money too. How is that transition been?
It's a lot more relaxing.
Yeah, I will second that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Having the
Um,
closer is the game changer, and he's a good guy and everything. So I was just happy that the first month that he came in with me, he was able to make $18,000.
yeah, because it wasn't like you. I guess it probably wasn't on his projections to do that. Like I don't know if he told them like, hey, you're gonna make close to 20K the first month when
Yeah, I had no
expecting it.
idea. I honestly, it was way more than I expected. I did not expect it. I did not expect to make $100,000. I was okay to make 50, $60,000, and then I just like surpassed all my expectations.
I guess we'll take it. That yeah, not a bad problem to have. But that's really cool. I guess with that new growth, then where do you kind of like where do you see yourself the next 6, 12 months? Like what are you thinking for the future now when it comes to this company?
My projection for October is we should hit $200,000 since 4 days in, we already made 40,000. And just consistently hitting $100,000 months now instead of where I was consistently hitting ten to $20,000 months.
Yeah, big difference there, and also like those $100,000 months they can sustain a closer, right? Because then he's making 10%. He can make 10K a month. He's happy. You're not having to be on calls. You can focus on student fulfillment, which gets even better, brings in more students, and that flywheel continues. and
Exactly.
more people watch the YouTube as well. So
That's been my favorite part overall, not having to worry about sales or convincing someone about my program, just trading myself, trading with my students and helping them, and just putting all my energy there.
100%, yeah, that's the goal, right? With a real strong social media presence, is that it allows you to just like have the marketing side good, and then you bring in the salesperson has that good, and you can focus on like what you want to, right? Which is helping students, doing it yourself, that type of thing, right?
Yeah, and also a lot of I forgot his name. Let me see. Oh yeah. Also, a lot of Harris's advice did help me out at first. Some of the YouTube videos that I asked you guys about, he was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's a bad idea. So then I switched up my strategy and that worked better as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I guess then, what would you tell someone who's maybe kind of like on the edge about actually like going in on their social media and really taking it seriously to grow their education business, or to be able to make more in general from their YouTube channel, like, and then getting that outside help? Like, what would you, I guess, tell someone now in the position that you're in?
It's a lot of work, first of all. Joining Creator OS, you're going to learn a lot of things, but you have to put in the work. Like, I personally hired video editors. I personally hired a sales team and I QC them every day. And, it's a lot of work, but hey, you're probably working a lot already. So why not fix your income?
Why not, get to 180K? Yeah, yeah. No, it's like that. You have to put in that extra work to then be able to, like, and I'm sure now, like, you're able to make a lot more while being able to, okay, you have a closer, you have someone in there, and you can start to trust and build like a real organization around it.
Yeah, it was like a lot of building for a good 4 or 5 months. But now that we have that foundation set, now I get to pull back a little bit and work less than I was before.
Yeah, no, 100%. I always tell people like it's not going to be easy, especially in the beginning. But if this is something you want to do, like it's worth it, because it's that like hump that most people won't do, and then you get to a point where you can like, now you're at a new baseline of revenue, right? But you're still able to potentially even work less than before. You don't have to be on sales calls and all
And I
that.
could
Yeah.
add to that as well because in my first year of content creation, I made negative dollars. I made $0. Like my first year in content creation, I bought the microphone. Boom, negative. I was paying for Premiere Pro every single month and I wasn't making any money. But I grinded for a good 1 or 2 years posting content, and then that's when I launched my offer. And from my offer launch, the first month I made $30,000. So I was getting good and comfortable there for a good 1 or 2 years. And then from there, I realized that I have to go to the next level, which is not just being a content creator and doing all the work myself, but also delegating, which is something that you help open my eyes to.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of in that process myself with the company as well. So 100%. Yeah. Awesome. Damaris, any last thoughts you want to share with the world? Anything you have to say extra?
Well, if you want to learn how to trade, check me out on YouTube at Damaris Trades.
There you go. All right. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Damaris, for your time. Really appreciate it. Congrats again on the success.
All right. Thank you, Octavio. Have a great rest of your day.
And real quick, if you're enjoying this breakdown and you're an educational content creator or expert who wants help to build and monetize your audience, book a call, the first link in the description, to see if we're a fit to work together. If not, completely fine, but it's there as an option if you're someone who's more serious about it.